You didn't tell us if it was on 3. It wasn't on 3. It was 3 and
yeah, brother.
You didn't tell us.
I'm gonna kill it.
Yeah. I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna
kill it.
W.
Oh.
I think we still have
where?
reminiscences of the legacy of WCW last week. It was a lot of fun. Go check it out. It's in our archives already. It's a week old.
It's a good one.
It's a
it was a good episode.
Just a baby. Yeah.
When are we gonna
do
do
job
legacy?
too? Because there's a lot of WCW shit is going in my feed. That's actually perfect.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do it.
Oh yeah.
Because we did not want that in
the
our
first
feed.
episode of Who Killed WCW was like just there's a bunch of. You know what project it is? Can I be honest with you? I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying Bischoff loves it because like he's just like it makes me look good. But really, the episode 1 didn't because everybody was like Bischoff and Hogan. They were fucking ridiculous, like Bischoff and Hogan. And then when you listen to Bischoff on his podcast, he's like, finally, someone with not a narrative is telling the story. I'm like, it makes you
Conrad.
like. But you know what though? Like he's right and he's wrong at the same time. There's two things that he actually says the phrase that I agree with the most. He said WCW died of 1,000 cuts. He was like, it wasn't one thing. It was just a steady build of,
amen, brother.
Things changing and then, creative decision being bad, but the merger fucked him over. And he was right about all of it. He's right about all of it, but he's wrong about all of it at the same time. It's like, it was the same things that were always wrong with it just ended up killing it because once you get so successful like they got, any kind of downturn is like the worst thing ever. Even though in 91 and 92, we all know how bad that shit was. But you forget about that because of how fucking popular they got in 96, 7, and 8. Like when they dipped at all, it was like, it's over. And it's just what this country loves, right? This country celebrates you when you're on top, but the second you tumble, it's like, I'm gonna watch you die.
Well,
like
they celebrate all of it.
They're a victim of everything that America and the fans have always done, like to wrestling. It's like we're the second you make a misstep, we're like, you fucking suck, you're going out of business. Like it's just same thing. Same.
Look at clickbait headlines. It's always negative to get you to, whether you agree or disagree with it, it's just to get you to check it out.
And it was Bischoff never. It was the thing that really killed them. The buck never stopped with anybody, and really that's been the key to Vince the whole time. Is just that
God bless Vince McMahon.
Yeah, brother.
Vince never the buck stopped with him, good or bad. It was his final decision, and he could always say that. And nobody in even when you listen to Bischoff, I'm like, and there he goes with the dancing. And by dancing, I mean and the dancing around responsibility. Nobody wanted to take responsibility. When anything bad happened, everybody was like, yeah, but they knew, everyone knew. Yeah. And I'm like, see, that's why it died, is because nobody was like, that was my fault. Like everybody was just like, yeah, and when it was good, it was like, I did this and I did that. But the second bad things started to happen, but Hogan, but this guy, like the merger. I'm like, okay, nobody takes responsibility. If you watch everyone's commentary on that DVD, no one says this is my fault. Nobody says shit. Like that's why it died. And that's why any company will die, and that's why it's like it's just when the buck doesn't stop with anybody, when the decisions don't stop with the person, good or bad. Vince always used to tell Bruce, doesn't matter if people don't like it, it's my decision. That's what I'm doing. And if I have to change it, I'll change it later, but I'm going to make this decision, and the people that don't like it can jump off the ship, and the people that like it can stay, and we're going to ride it out. And that's what Vince always did. Nobody in WWE wanted to do that.
That's also why his product went downhill towards the end of his reign.
But you're right.
That's that attitude.
I don't know what you're talking about because that never happened.
The buck stopped with him. It rose from the ashes, though, and they ended up doing WCW better than WCW could.
Yeah,
because Vince listened. Yeah, and it stopped when he decided to make that decision. We are going to Jerry Springer. I am going to listen to Vince Russo. It was a decision he made. The Cornettes hated it. Jim Ross was like, I didn't even fucking like it, but that was the decision. He wrote it. It was his money, and he kept pushing in that direction, and then it worked. And then when Vince found out that it worked, he was like, Bruce and Pat and Gerald, if you don't get on board, you're gone too. So they had to jump on board, but just so happened that Pat Patterson was the
There's
greatest
a-
Finnish guy in the business. It just so happened that Gerald Briscoe was a great talent manager. It just so happened that Jim Ross is the best fucking talent relations manager he's ever had. And
the
like
best
it worked
announcer in the
because
business at the time. On top of
yeah,
it,
they all got on
Yeah.
board, and that was the thing is because Vince had the final decision. He's like, "It's my
there's
fucking
something
company. Get on board."
there's
if you
something
want."
about
Like,
this that were
Well, there's also like he didn't because of
okay,
that he
good.
didn't have to kiss anybody's ass. You know, like I feel like
Yeah,
Bischoff
100%.
was
Yeah.
Bischoff was kissing the talent's ass to keep everybody like, at least the top guys. He was kissing Hogan's ass, Nash and Hall to like, oh yeah, like as long as I keep those guys happy. But then ultimately they were an absolute cancer to the rest of the talent that they had on the
Talent had to
there,
kiss
but,
Vince's ass, you know.
But yeah,
You know-
because,
you know
That's the difference. Yep.
You know the thing that
because
we
he
don't
didn't.
we don't
Go
talk
ahead.
about a ton is the realm of the casual fan. So casual fan is also a blessing and a curse. I think we're going to talk about this later on another pod, but when the casuals come in, everything is forced to change, and WCW brought the casual fan back. If that makes sense, they're not the diehards, not the ones like everybody on this pod that watched every single week, no matter how shitty it was.
yeah, we're actually rare. Like when you really
We
think
are
about it,
rare, and
I don't care how many people that say I watch this for a living, and the people who think they're diehard
It's my
fans. We
fucking
are actually
job.
diehard.
yeah,
Oh, my
we-
fucking
we
light went on.
know-
Like I'm not saying we know more than anybody, but we are actually in the minority now. Like
as
far wrestling
Chris
goes.
Rock said, when you love someone, you gotta love the crust of a motherfucker, and we love the crust of wrestling. We do. And
If
as
you didn't
bad
go
as it
through
gets-
94, 95, then you don't know shit.
Yeah,
if
don't
you haven't
have-
seen it, you don't know what
have
you're
the rights
talking
to any of
about.
them.
Right,
Yeah.
and if you've been through
The
like 14,
casuals
15,
don't
like, you don't know
exist anymore.
what your problem is. And
You didn't watch Mabel
when-
and Diesel main events?
oh
You're-
god.
Yeah.
So when that happens,
Like that's the
Didn't
best
matter when I was
example
a kid.
always.
you're forced to
Always my
pivot
go-to.
into a realm of wrestling that's not
Madden.
it's not ideal to anybody who is a diehard. It's not ideal to the Jim Rosses of the world. It's definitely not ideal to Vince. And WCW was the first to say, fuck it, let's try it and let's see what happens. And Vince took a long time to come around to it. And we're kind of going through that again, to be honest.
Oh yeah.
We're still seeing great wrestling, don't get me wrong, because that's just because it's so good in the craft. People take such pride in it. We're going to see great matches every time where we're spoiled. So we're kind of getting the best of both worlds today, which why my argument is that the best wrestling is today, even versus like the war era and the rock and wrestling area, because we're getting great
Ruthless
story,
Aggression
we're
era.
getting casuals in. Yeah, unfortunately, we're getting huge fucking prices from it too, which we'll talk about later. But this is the best wrestling we've ever seen because we get great matches, we get great story, and we're pulling in people that aren't normally loving the crust of wrestling. They love wrestling now because it's a great product and it's something that anybody can
Great.
watch. And
It's easy to be a
That's-
fan when the product is good.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Joe, 100%, man. Yeah, I
It's
agree.
like-
I agree.
When
all
it's
good.
hot and exciting, and it's like it's the rock. It's like wrestling's cool again. It is.
And,
You know,
and
like,
even when the I
Which
don't know
also
what's
has
called the dirt
downsides
sheets.
too of fans that come in.
Didn't Meltzer and those guys, they went through like all the raw eras of the wars, and they're watching all this stuff and they're like, oh my god, this is really hard to watch because until you get to the main stuff of like Stone Cold or you get to the main stuff of NWO or you're watching the Cruiserweights, it's like there is so much shitty wrestling storytelling underneath all of this. That's not what we're seeing today at all, by the way. And it's incredible in the realm of how we're getting the best of both worlds. Like I said, it's gonna hurt my wallet. Don't get me wrong, because now I feel like they can charge whatever you want. But
It's in demand.
it's
High demand.
it's 100% in demand, and every match is good. Everybody can go. Everybody can wrestle. Everybody can hold. Everybody can do high impact maneuvers. Everybody can bring the fans into it. It's rare now, even on standard Raw or SmackDown events, or AEW will take out of it because they're finding their way. I don't want to give them a hard time, but where you find the fans sitting on their hands, because the matches are that good. They're just that good. Even if the match is like slow on story, there's such a high impact. The crowd's like,
even when you
"Oh!"
talk about AEW, that's the difference. That's why
Right.
the buck does stop with Tony, good decision or bad, which WCW never had going for them. And even during the NWO years, there was a lot of. I mean, NWO was sold out. The whole thing was a pile of shit. The first one. So even when they were at their height, like you're can still like we've reviewed plenty of pay-per-views from 97, 98 going, that just didn't really get going, but like every
Right.
AEW pay-per-view is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't remember a bad
That's true.
WWE pay-per-view. It's been 4 years, maybe even longer than that
Right.
since WWE's really put out a bad pay-per-view. So that's the difference between AEW and WCW was that Tony is going to be the final say, and maybe he'll be the undoing. But if that's the case, that's a way more honorable sword to die on than WCW, with everyone going, it was him or her, it wasn't me, which everyone in WCW does. Every fucking person in WCW is like, well, I didn't know, I had no idea. And that's like, oh, come on, God, that's why you died. Like, because nobody wanted to be like, listen, shit sucks right now. And, and that's what Tony's got to do. But he has the capability of turning it around way more than any WCW pay-per-view from 99 to when they died, especially 2000, was all fucking trash. Like, I remember I love wrestling. I stopped buying WCW pay-per-views in 2000 because I couldn't fucking do it anymore. I just was like,
It was
no,
They
garbage.
started
I
to name them
cannot
It was all
watch.
garbage.
7 deadly sins.
Yeah,
They started to
can't
be
do
like
it.
gluttony, envy, sin. Like, what the fuck? I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah,
But
but
the
no matter how
both-
unbearable Collision and Dynamite is, you can watch their pay-per-view and you're gonna be like, holy shit, like that
Yeah.
was a
That was
really good
fire.
show.
It was fire.
Which is mind-boggling as to why it's doing what it's doing now. But they got to ride it out. They got to make their show stitched together. But the buck stops with Tony, so they have a chance. That was not the case with WCW. Trust people who say they compare AEW now to WCW 2000, and it goes on
Not
a
the
lot on
same.
social media. It's not the same. Like, not even
Well,
close.
I
WCW
will say
2000 was so fucking bad.
the first episode, by the way, is out on YouTube. So if you don't get Vice TV, it's actually available now, and hopefully they keep doing that. There's going to be 4 episodes, and it should be premieres Tuesday nights
They're
and
happy,
Wednesdays. It's
brother.
on YouTube. I think what I liked about it is Dark Side of the Ring only had several days to shoot. It looked like this had a bigger budget with Dwayne Johnson's $7 Productions. So you have Nash, you have Turner executives on there. You have
That's the awesome thing.
That's cool.
You have Bischoff. You've got Bischoff's executive
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
assistant.
it.
You've got everyone kind of but Flair. I think Flair's a little hurt that he wasn't invited to the party.
Hulk's not on there
to
either,
weigh
unless
in.
they're going to bring Hulk in
Well,
later. but Hulk's not
don't
on
be
either.
drunk and
No,
old
I
and
think if he's
stupid.
not in the first episode,
I wonder
think
why
he's
they don't
probably
want Flair
not
on
part
there.
of it.
Come on, brother.
But and the footage, the backstage footage from the last Nitro is kind of how they start with. And the first episode's kind of like a big, almost like a nice, it's a Bischoff love party. But I watched the Bischoff and Conrad podcast, like live watch along after, and Bischoff seemed kind of not
Irritated?
super thrilled about it. He's just like, I want to
Because
wait
they're
and
telling
see,
the
but
truth about
I
him.
didn't-
Like, because they're telling the truth about him and he doesn't
So,
like
I
it.
don't-
Like,
I don't
that's
think
why.
there was anything bad about Bischoff in that first episode. It was actually just a
There
blowjob
there
to him,
was,
really, like
though.
how he
It wasn't
created the whole
overt.
thing.
It was decisions that he made. He knows in his heart that he got burnt out, and totally acceptable, by the way. We've all been in jobs that we've left because we got burnt the fuck out and we started making decisions that we never normally would have made if we were totally fresh and in it or whatever. We all can relate to that. I am not blaming Bischoff, but at the same time, like Bischoff, like to this day, and maybe it's his ego and he is a salesman at heart. He just cannot fucking understand. He will say, I was burnt out at this time, but then everything that he says after that is a major fucking wall up, defense, defense, defense. And it's like, you just did it,
Guys.
dude. You just fell apart. It's okay.
Don't take it.
Nobody
Not-
got
not
as
in that
far as
first
you.
episode.
No one beat Vince but you. Like,
Yeah, I think he's talking. He's talking in
No
the
one
whole
beat Bischoff
holistic
up in that
sense.
first episode, though. It was
no,
all about
I'm
how
not
he
saying that. I'm saying
created.
in Bischoff's head when he's watching this stuff, he relives it over and over again because now the fresh Bischoff, all these years later, 60-year-old Bischoff that could reflect is like, I should have done that. I should have just told Hulk, no, we're doing the ending at Starrcade the exact way we fucking talked about it. Don't fuck with it. But he didn't do that. And that's the thing is like,
And by
all
the
he's gotta
way,
do is-
Hogan
yeah.
would have done business if he had done that. If he had grown it back,
And by the way,
Hogan would have done business.
stuff like that is only on the creative side of what we saw. I believe Bischoff 1,000%. All the shit that was going on behind the scenes, the executives cutting his budget, that's fucking murder right there, dude. I am
that's
not disputing that.
and that's justifiable burnout because he didn't run the whole show. He was just in charge. He's a middle manager. Vince
Right.
can say, "Fuck you! I'll take my shit elsewhere. I'll take my ball and go home."
It was
Bischoff
also-
can never
it
do that.
was also
and
Vince's
that's where the
money.
burnoff comes in. Yes, 100%.
I mean, it's Vince's money, so he was.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He
I agree
like
with
he
you.
ultimately was,
Mhm.
he wasn't going to cut his own budget. I mean, sometimes, like they might start to downgrade on stuff, but he wouldn't. He's not going to cut his legs off to.
Yeah,
I know a lot of
he
people
would
are
be
saying
like,
like, why are you
if
beating?
you're asking me to do that, I'm not taking that show on. And if that means that you're going to take care of my contract, I'll find someone else where I can air
Right.
my show. That's what Vince would have said if he was in that situation. Bischoff couldn't say that because he didn't have any negotiation rights whatsoever because he didn't own anything.
And on top of all those ridiculous contracts that they signed, like Vince would have never done any
Yeah.
of those contracts.
Like
Again, Bischoff is totally right when he's like, they died by 1,000 cuts, and they
Yeah.
did, and that was. But the thing is like, I think because people are like, why are they doing another series? It's beating a dead horse, and it is to a certain extent. But the reason
1,000
why I think
cuts?
it keeps getting brought back up, I think that if the key principles and people behind the scenes, Bischoffs, the Hogans, if they actually just said, we made bad decisions, we just fucked up, then I think WCW could finally rest. I really believe that, and I believe that it would rest in the hearts of the fans. And I think they're like, okay, finally,
when
like,
I'm
finally,
sorry, Jess,
everybody fucking realized
we
that
were
they made
selfish.
that side of the-
Yeah, like Hogan just needs
Can
to come
you-
out and it's like, I was a selfish fuck.
Well,
Yeah,
And
I fucked up.
and
No.
Yeah.
I
It's not gonna
fucked
work.
this company
I
over.
was going through problems in my
not.
life, and like I didn't
Come
want
on.
to. The wrestling is all I had.
Goes
I
versus
didn't
DUI,
want. I
yeah.
felt that if I jobbed, I felt my value would be less. So I sabotaged Sting. If he said that, he would actually be so much more popular now, Hogan, because
Oh, yeah.
people are like, that's the first fucking
Remorse.
honest thing he ever said. Because he
But
did it.
You-
We all
there's
saw
a-
it.
There's
You know
also-
he's listening to
there's
this
also
episode,
another
right?
side. There's another side of it too, where people want to hear AOL executives at the time admit that they had no idea what they were doing and didn't know anything about the craft of it.
That too.
And you're
Hey,
you will never
Yep.
hear that. You're never gonna
To
hear
your
it.
point,
And
I think the end of this narrative of this documentary, unlike the WWE one, was like didn't blame the merger and the corporation. This thing is going to blame the ignorance of AOL and Time Warner and that corporation that didn't know what wrestling was and just penny pinched. So, and I think that's why
Yeah.
Bischoff will be happy with the end of.
You think they'll
of this
actually do
documentary.
it? They'll
Okay,
Because they
actually
already
say it?
alluding
great.
to it of like, and Bischoff
who-
said it was funny because we talked last week about how they lost. They went from gaining 55 million to losing 70 or 30 million in their last
Fucking
year.
crazy.
And Bischoff
Right.
in that
That's crazy.
podcast with Conrad after the first episode said, no. What Turner did is they put the other losses from other divisions on WCW, like TNT Sports and other stuff, because they knew they wanted to get rid of it. So as a last
Oh.
final effort, they put all that debt
They
on
That's
dumped all the
fucked up too, huh?
financials on it.
bottom line.
Oh, there you
Which
go.
actually kind of makes sense. That corporate kind of financial accounting.
You're
That
doomed from
does
the
make
get.
sense, but he's right on that. But at the same time, this is Bischoff not taking. There's no way that they made money in 2000, Craig. When you and I both know
We
the
know
day
that.
after
We're not.
Halloween
We're not.
Havoc,
denying- We're not
saying they
denying
the
that.
day after Halloween Havoc of 2000, they put like 1,000 paid fans in the Irvine Spectrum
Yes.
like arena for a fucking Nitro. They lost boatloads, and
More
he
people
will
rode the
not
carrot.
fucking-
More people rode the
Yes.
fucking Ferris
Yeah.
wheel. Jess, is that
No.
what you're
Don't
saying?
get
And I
me
was
wrong.
not,
Yeah.
I was not saying that they were profitable. I was just saying they wanted to get rid of
That's
it. They
where
were
Bischoff
burying it.
like
They
will not take fucking ownership. He just won't do it. And it's like, I mean, God, Bish, like, come on, man. Like,
Bro,
and then he goes to
what
TNA and they tried the same stuff and TNA got
Yes.
worse. And I'm like, Bischoff, you have to
You
fucking
suck.
be a man
Suck, dog.
and be
Just
like, I
disappeared.
just lost it. I
Oh.
just got burnout and I didn't want anything to do with it. And I hung on for as long as I could. Like, it's all he
Oh,
had to
that's true.
say. And we'd be
Yeah.
like, I fucking respect that. He's the same Bischoff that was 83 weeks. Like, I get it. I love it. And I respect him
Mhm.
so much for that. But just, you're on a podcast in your 60s. You got no skin in the game anymore. Just be like, I fucked up. We were all acting off egos and
Mhm.
anger and burnout. And this is what happened. And it did. We all saw it. It's right in front of our face. But no one's like, no, what happened? No.
They
If they
did
would have
talk
put
about
better
it.
toilet paper in the bathrooms, we would have been fine. I'm like, no.
They did talk about the end of Sting and Hogan, and Bischoff was
Yeah,
completely
it's
played
totally
by
that.
Hogan. Hogan was like, Sting showed up in the locker room. He's like, I don't feel it today, and because Hogan had creative control,
Oh,
that's
I'm
why
so
he
glad
was
you fucking said that
screwy.
right now.
Like,
I was
and
yelling
it
at
made
my
Bischoff
TV.
look like a fucking fool. It's like,
Yes.
he fucking got sold.
I was yelling. No, here's what he said. Bing was so convinced that Hogan was going to backstab him and pull the rug out from under him that he manifested it happening. Are you kidding me? Like, he
Right.
said that Bischoff was
I do
paranoid
believe the
about the
power
biggest
of
backstabber in
manifestation.
pro wrestling,
You might
backstabbing
be
him.
right.
That is the reason why it happened, because Sting brought the negative energy in the building. Hogan backstabbed him. all
Yeah.
Sting's fault. That's what he
Yeah.
freaking said. I was like, oh, like I was like, you fucking asshole. That's why I get so mad at Bischoff because I'm like, you fucking asshole, you fucking liar.
You
like,
let
stop
it all
lying.
happen. You
Yeah.
fuck.
Yeah.
Don't protect him.
That's why
He said
Sting
it on the
Joker.
documentary. He didn't get hired for this documentary because no one valued his opinion. Just separate from Hogan. You don't fucking need him anymore. Like to this day, Bischoff's like, I still need Hogan to sell tickets. Well, no, you don't. He can't. Like
Hey,
he hasn't. Hogan
that's-
He can't hurt you anymore, Eric.
Christmas.
He can't hurt you anymore.
Yeah, it's Stockholm
Yeah.
syndrome. He's like, I love him.
Yeah.
I'll always love him. Like he'll never hurt me. Like he made me. Like shut
Hogan's
the fuck
probably
up.
watching
I
this
guess
episode.
for Eric.
Hogan's gonna watch
it's
this
that scene-
episode. I'm telling you right
Yeah,
now.
like it just needs to be like Bischoff in therapy.
Let me call
and
my
like
attorney.
from Good Will Hunting, where he's
It's
like,
not
he's
your
like,
fault.
it's not your
It's not
fault.
his fault.
No, I
I
know
gotta call my
that.
attorney.
It's not your fault.
Oh, shut up. Just shut
You
up.
man, not you,
Oh,
not you.
shut up.
The
Bischoff,
question
man.
I have is like, Craig, you talking about
Oh.
who dumped all that money onto the WCW
Oh, brother.
line for all the losses of all the other networks? It's got to be the guy that had to, bow to Bischoff and give him that $1 and ask for an apology. I guarantee you that was the guy that dumped all the debt onto WCW.
Couldn't wait.
Not even 3 years later.
No wonder why
Couldn't
Sting
wait.
turned into the Joker in TNA
Like that,
against
that's, if
Bischoff
I was
and
a
Hogan.
betting man, I would bet on that before I even had the knowledge of.
That's why Sting
Who-
Sting was
who
shooting
dumped
that
all-
whole time when Sting was
Who
Joker.
dumped all that? It's the guy that had to get on his knees at a Christmas party and give Bischoff $1. He was the one that.
What was
I
this-
feel like that'd be a
He was
perfect.
so mad. Yeah, that's the
Sting
documentary.
and
About in the
Joker in
long run. Like,
TNA. Like, what was the
Right.
backstage footage or like the camera through the window and like Sting got Hogan to
Yeah.
be a dick or whatever?
He
Like,
started.
what was
That's when the characters started coming out a little bit, and he's like, "You want to wear a mask, Hogan? Huh? Are you this the real Hogan,
Oh,
or
I
is this the
remember
real
that.
Hogan, or is this your
Yeah.
mask again?" And then he started painting the makeup. He's all Sting, no, and you just hear him. And then when he corners Bischoff in his office, but I'm like, that's Sting. That's Sting's real feelings coming out right there about Bischoff and Hogan and
That was all
WCW.
TNA. It was all TNA, right? Because it's not all.
Yeah, that was TNA. He's like, I'll show you manifestation
those-
from my mind.
the
That was-
day
that was
of the
fun
event when
stuff.
Sting walked in the building, Hulk had enough power because they fucking stupidly gave it to him. And
Creative control.
the night of Starrcade, their biggest fucking show they could ever do, like the culmination of. Even Bischoff said
Year.
Sting was supposed to win clean that
18
night,
months
and then the
later.
NWO was going to feud for the next year. So you had Sting bringing up younger guys and defending the title, while the NWO fell apart and feuded with each other and kept you in that storyline there. So that didn't happen because Hulk the day of the event said not tonight.
Yeah,
He's not ready.
He's not ready.
Sting is not ready.
He's
not
not,
ready, brother.
tan
Orton is
enough.
not ready.
He didn't tan. He looks
He
pale.
didn't tan.
So let's do a fast
Sting, who's
count.
beaten Ric Flair,
Brother, look at me,
Vader,
look at him,
Luger,
brother.
is not fucking ready. Sting, who fucking held a company that was dying on his back for
He's not a company guy. I'm feeling. You
fucking
feel
ready.
that? He's not a company
Jesus
guy.
Christ. Like,
Hogan's like, did you see Sting's face? He's got like
wonderful.
his face is really pale, and he's got like black tears coming out of his eyes, brother. Did you-
He doesn't want to
see?
be here. Why? Oh my god.
He's all he's just. He's,
I'm
hanging, man.
Yeah,
Put the boat in the water.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah, put the boat in the water.
because you better thumbnail this. Who
Yes.
killed WCW?
That's perfect.
On this, you better thumbnail it.
WCW,
Oh
brother.
my god.
Yeah, you know who did.
Love you, Terry.
well, I know we're talking a lot about it, but like that's the topic. That's the big documentary that came out. So like, yeah, hey, they're talking about WCW.
great.
We're just
Watch
catching
it.
on the bandwagon. I
Yeah.
love it. I love WCW so
I did
much.
too,
like I
man.
do.
I'm
They
gonna
go
kill
back-
it. My creation.
I mean, he did.
Like
Vince
a
did.
cancer.
Yeah, exactly. He did.
It's so
God
sad.
bless Vince McMahon.
Oh.
Thank you.
See,
Can we
there you
have
go.
a Final thought on the matter. Kevin Sullivan looks like shit.
Yeah. Well, and that was they taped that a while ago. He
Bye-bye.
was in. He was in the.
Is Kevin
oh my
Sullivan
God.
in the documentary?
He's in the
Yeah, and
documentary, but he's
he
like
gets some
shaking a
credit.
lot, and he's super skinny. But that was filmed a while ago. He went to
Damn.
the hospital last week or the week before, so he's not
Oh.
doing well. I guess. Like, you know,
that sucks.
Isn't
And
isn't
That's
Dean
sad.
Malenko also using a walker? Like not to get too
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
off
They
subject?
don't-
yeah.
Oh,
I
that's
said something
unfortunate.
earlier, and Kevin Sullivan actually kind of said that. He's like, America loves bringing something up and then watching it fall, and then as it comes back up, you like it.
Like the Phoenix
like-
from the ashes. I don't
And
know.
then he's getting a lot of credit for he booked the whole NWO. He was the guy that hit.
We talked
Hogan.
about it on our
the night
episode.
of
He
the-
deserves it. Listen, I don't want to watch the guy wrestle ever again.
Oh.
But at the same time, like he was a
don't-
great
Yeah.
booker, and
You don't
he
like
read
the
his
really
mind.
was.
smallest giant?
Well, I
Jess,
think
you don't
when
like
they
you don't like the smallest giant guys.
I mean,
The
we're
smallest
talking
giant-
about it right
Yeah.
now, right? Smallest Giants.
And
Well,
no,
I
I
was re-
don't.
I saw somewhere too that
We'll
like
always
he,
talk
when he was
about
in the like part of why he was so he like was kind of looking away when he was in the hospital. The doctors were like, well, for your entire career you didn't wear any knee pads, so you have like no
Oh my
cartilage
God.
left in your
I
knee.
knew it. I knew it. I saw Joe smirk the devil like in his eyes, and I was like, he's fucking going for something.
He's
right now.
onto
Like,
something. Joe's onto something. I love that.
You are going to get down on your hands and knees.
And he just kept no selling cancer or like whatever he has.
Stop! What the fuck is happening right now?
Small and shine, brother.
Oh.
You should wrestle like a
No,
giant.
I'm not going down.
got a new
I'm not
tumor.
going down.
Ah, that's sick.
That's fucked up.
I'm not pissing blood.
We're going. to
Oh
a
God,
special-
damn
we're
it! I'm
all-
sorry. I'm
we're all
sorry. I'm
go-
sorry.
We're all going to a special place. I've said it every
it's-
week that we've been on this podcast.
Terrible.
You think that's some
Mm.
obscure stuff that you haven't heard?
Hugs and kisses,
Yeah,
Kev.
well, I legitimately thought that when I saw him on one of the things, like he was lifting his hands up to, explain the story, and it was shaking, and I was like, oh, fuck,
No,
No, that
that's
sucks.
not
That does
fair.
suck. That sucks.
Nobody deserves that.
Very, very
comes
hard
for
to
us
get a
all
5-star
eventually. It
match.
comes
Very
for
hard.
us all.
Very hard to write a.
Yeah, but Solon's had
Match.
a few 5-star
And they
matches,
did. I
right?
mean, just because you don't see stuff on the books, I'm not suggesting that he abused anything or whatever, but like they all, like from the territory days, like,
partied.
they just fucking, they lived on the road and they party, but they didn't get sleep and they fucking abused their bodies by just trying to get in shape and like
Yep.
falling on a fucking ring.
Yeah, brother.
Back then, the rings, Jesus, I mean, they're still hard now, but the rings back then was legit like plywood.
Yeah.
So many wrestlers said like when we went to smaller territories, they already had a ring there, and it just happened to be like a fucking boxing ring. They just removed the
Right.
4 ropes from. They just made 3, and he's like, it's fucking hard as
No
shit, and
give.
it was not
Yeah.
meant to
Yeah,
punk
no
on.
give.
Yeah, and they all did
And
that
you-
shit for.
And you're
years.
not running ropes on that either. Those ring
Yeah.
ropes aren't the same.
Luckily, they weren't
So
doing
when
all
like
the flippity
mental
doo dah like
faculties or the neurological
Shit.
shit starts hitting, it's because they were in mini car crashes every night. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
forever they were doing it.
That's
like,
fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, getting like,
I mean, Kevin
getting
Sullivan was a
concussions
truck,
every
not
other
a
night.
car. Just get this straight
Yeah.
right now.
The Rey Mysterio, the lawn dart into the trailer.
Oh,
Rey
that's
Mysterio
still-
said, "Can you throw me through the window?" And Kevin Nash,
yes,
was like,
oh, that was
"No,
fucking
man.
hilarious.
"You'll
Nah,
fucking
man.
die."
Fucking die, man. You
Dude,
fucking
no.
die, Ray.
All the points that I meant to bring up, you're fucking saying. I belly laughed at Kevin Nash when he
Yeah.
said that. He was like, and Ray comes up to me and said, "Hey, on the side of that trailer, you see that window? Can you throw me through it?" And he's like, "No, man, you'll fucking die. It's a window."
You know.
So
I
Mysterio
love-
I
wanted him
always
to.
thought Kevin was a dick for doing
Was
it,
it-
right?
It's okay. Okay, Holmes.
Look how
Okay.
Ray was totally part of the story. He's like, let's do this shit. But Ray's doing business. Like, I love that. I love hearing.
By the
those
way,
things. It's
28
wonderful.
years
Ray's
ago,
awesome.
Ray's still going. God bless you, Ray.
Yep.
I love you so much.
He's still doing
Oh,
good,
yeah.
man. He's still doing really good. He looks really
I
good.
posted that on our Instagram. Where I put like it was a clip of Guerrero and Mysterio.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just put the NWO wasn't the only reason why the 83 week streak lived, because it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like Rey Mysterio was such a massive
Solely.
part
It was solely.
of that. Like really, Ray and Dean, and yes, I
Mm.
love
And Eddie.
Eddie and all
Well,
that
Dean.
stuff, but like
Yep.
Ray, Dean, Eddie, even Psychosis and all those stuff. Like they were
Jericho.
all the
Jericho.
Benoit, Jericho,
Benoit.
have you have to
Yeah,
put in
Benoit.
there as well.
Like they were all like someone that the group, even the park after a while, you just saw him
Yeah.
every week and you were like, okay, like this guy's awesome. Like
Psychosis
he
was
wasn't really a
dope,
cruiserweight,
yeah.
he was part of the lucha thing.
Conan.
Like to me, that
Yeah.
all tied
Alex,
in. You know,
Joe, you messed it up, Joe.
Alex Wright.
Don't ever say
What did
that
Joe
again.
say?
Alex Wright. You
Say
know,
Conan.
Conan.
El Gato.
God damn it.
Well,
Even though,
I'll,
I mean-
Joe, I'll say this. I'll say this.
Yushin
Conan
Liger.
in the ring, horrible, but Conan brought all of that over. So thank
He
you,
did.
Conan.
He did.
Right.
But
Yeah.
could you
Yeah.
could
Well,
you just could you bring the talent over and
You guys thought it
disappear?
was a joke. You brought all those Mexican studs up, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
Brought Eddie up.
He brought all the lucha over, but could he have
Yeah.
just disappeared? It would have been perfect. Like just saying.
Well,
or just not do a somersault clothesline.
God, it's
Yeah.
so dumb. It's
Yeah.
the dumbest move in wrestling.
It's a simple request. Like it's
Or
really that's
speak.
not that
Well,
hard.
maybe just
Or-
not do somersault. Like he did a somersault everything. He's like, I'm gonna do a somersault leg
did.
drop. I'm gonna do a somersault like
Somersault
Flash.
into a collar and elbow.
I mean,
tie-up.
honestly,
Yeah.
Joe, you and I could do that today. We
But
can do that right now.
I don't know if I could do a somersault. Just to be honest, like, I mean,
why not? Yeah, you can. Just do it. Do it right now on camera. Do it live.
if I did it, I might not
Live.
be able to get back up.
Just pan out real
Oh,
quick.
just
Leave-
keep
leave
the
pan
headphones
out
on
here.
so you have that at least.
I'm kidding.
There's-
I'm not going to do it on this carpet. I'm not going to do it.
I'm not
See
allowed
Joe's
to do any
legs
sort
go,
of.
"Oh."
You just you see my wife run by.
Damn it, Dave! What did you make him do? God damn it,
He
dude!
watches like
We didn't tell you to do the red arrow. We just told you to do a somersault.
You know-
God damn it.
if I was told that if I get injured before I go on our trip, that might be the end. It's like I will be single. So not do any crazy activities.
Yeah, just sit there. Don't move, please.
Well, what if you just did it working out? Sorry to get off subject. If you work out and you get hurt, that's it?
She's still got to cut bait.
I'm not gonna get hurt. I'm not gonna get hurt working out. It's okay.
Oh yeah, he's gonna do it.
Do
Yeah,
it.
do it.
He did it. He did it.
I'd be laughing if you saw something like fly across the camera because he hit something.
Like, see, I told you he's not getting back up.
He's not getting back up. You all right, buddy?
Hey, great. You okay, buddy?
I thought that might just be the end of you for this episode.
Don't laugh. Don't laugh. You didn't really hurt yourself.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Could you see my legs as they somersault?
Yes, 100%.
Okay,
100%.
that's what I wanted.
What if he just never came back and then we got paramedics like coming in?
It took longer than I wanted you to come back.
There's a rug over there, but I did roll.
No mat, no nothing, dude.
You're gonna feel that tomorrow, buddy. That's for sure. You're gonna feel that tomorrow.
Okay. You are feeling it right now. What do you mean tomorrow?
You look like that scene in The Big Lebowski when they go watch the landlord's play, and he does like a weird, awkward somersault. He's like, he falls down.
Really brings the room together. Really brings the room together.
Today's the 10th.
and also too, some other positive things happened this week is NXT's rating is really big. They had Jordan Gracie on there, and it was really good. Like NXT's been getting really fucking good lately.
It's been, dog. It's been ever since they dropped the color and the 2. It's been good.
I don't know if that was the exact meeting that they had. Like when we dropped that, we're good, but they're good.
Yeah. They were. The black.
I don't know about you, Cuz, but I really enjoyed the rainbow colors. I was really excited to see all the flair.
Yeah. It made it look like a Nickelodeon kids show.
It's gone from like 350,000 to 600,000, so it's gained probably.
Yeah, it's like doing really well.
They did over.
It's got a lot of good momentum going to CW, like TNA.
Yep.
Who are all these people? Who are all these people that all of a sudden are so interested in this wonderful product that we call wrestling? Who? Oh, it's just.
Yeah,
me.
NXT.
I'm just
NXT's
saying,
been
not
getting
even NXT, but just like in general, like you can't. A show opens up now, and you can't. As the tickets slowly pour into Ticketmaster or wherever, it's almost impossible to snag a ticket, and the prices keep going up. It's insane. Like people are just like
WWE's hot right now. When they're hot, they usually dictate the whole climate.
It's exactly what's happening.
People still go to other sports, and other sports are probably way more fucking expensive than wrestling. But I don't know. Yeah,
don't defend them. They are gouging you.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I was like, where me and Craig are like, don't defend.
Well, they gotta make up that $9 billion somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not all coming from advertising dollars. It's not all coming from Cinema's Toast Crunch or Mountain Dew Blackout.
Yeah.
People will pay though. That's the thing.
Again, I guarantee you, some wrestlers going to promote Cocoa Puffs. Whey protein.
Like the Ring of Dreams. People will pay.
They're gonna pay.
People will pay, Ray.
I don't care how expensive it's going to get. I mean, you're going to see it. I mean, because when SummerSlam comes, it's going to be sold out. Next year, WrestleMania, it's going to be sold out.
Are we gonna pay whatever it is to go to WrestleMania in Vegas?
Vegas, baby, yeah.
Are we gonna pay $25 for a Jack and Coke? Probably.
I'm gonna find Rob Van Dam walking around the streets so I can.
I hope it's only $25.
Have some of what he's having.
I know we'd be lucky.
And in Vegas, who knows, man? It's gonna be outrageous.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna get elaborate next year. We're gonna be like fucking jackets filled with secret compartments of whiskey.
Yeah,
just gin on the side of the leg, Joe. Just taped.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in the back. I'll go in the bathroom. The gin will be just like
it's gonna be pretty hot out there by that time. I
don't know if you want
to be wearing that shit because they're gonna do it in May, right? They're moving it to May? Did they move it to May? I don't remember the dates for WrestleMania next year.
It's Easter weekend. It's Easter weekend.
It's still April. Okay. Which that's fine.
It's
late April, though.
It's late April. It's late April, so it's the 20th and 21st, I think.
Oh,
yeah.
That's getting pushed out even further down.
Could be warm.
Wow.
It's
in my head. It's always
right.
April
I think
1st
it's Easter weekend.
Yeah.
If it's Easter weekend, then it's still cool
because it's going to be beautiful in there.
I feel like they do that too. Or they always do it around there because it's so many people have spring break the week before, so it's easier for travel and
that's true.
Yeah.
Kids' schedules. And
get your hotels and VRBOs now, folks.
And Roman Reigns will rise again. He'll be risen. What's
He will
that?
be risen.
I think so.
See, that's what we want to see. We wanted to
was-
see
that
him
was-
fall
Stop.
and rise again.
That was so fucking stupid.
But
Yeah.
who will he rise against? But will he rise against Cody, or will he rise against the other part of the bloodline?
Probably The Rock, brother.
The other bloodline.
I
Are
told
we telling
Rock.
Easter jokes?
I
Wait,
told The Rock.
Oh, we're ways
So
away.
Jesus
That's
Christ,
April. It's April 19th and 20th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Awesome.
So Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ walks into an inn, hands the innkeeper 3 nails and says, "Can you put me up for the night?"
Oh no.
He'll definitely be at WrestleMania. That's for sure.
That's almost like a one. That's a like Rodney.
I have
like,
risen and I want to go to WrestleMania.
For those kids,
That's
who
actually
aren't,
crazy.
Rodney
Like,
Dangerfield, look him up.
I'm like
Ah,
looking at the
so-
calendar. And I
Getting
just,
nailed
I just
at- yeah,
confirmed
it's
so I
crazy.
didn't say some false information. But, like, that's crazy. WrestleMania is going to be an Easter weekend. That's fucking crazy. Like,
Is that
It was
Easter?
Easter weekend this year.
yeah, it's Easter. Yeah, Easter Sunday is the 20th.
Oh, gotcha.
It was Easter. Wasn't it Easter weekend this year
No.
too? Or was it the week
No.
before?
It was the week before.
Yeah, I think it was the week
Yeah.
before or a week after. I don't remember.
It was the
No,
7th. It was on the
I don't
7th this year.
Oh well, you
At
know,
WrestleMania.
Cody Rhodes
It's always-
is Cody Rhodes is the second coming.
But it
so,
always,
you know.
but it always falls.
That-
It always
you know what? See,
falls
rightfully so.
on
Right.
on like either the beginning or the end of the spring break. Because I got because LA last year I had to make adjustments to be able to go to LA one.
I'm interested to see where. I want to go watch the NXT pay per view next year too, in Vegas, wherever they have that at. Probably or what'd you guys? Was the hockey stadium probably? Is where they
Yeah.
do that?
That's
Yeah.
on the strip now too.
Mm-hmm.
That T-Mobile Arena.
That
T-Mobile Arena. That's right.
yeah.
That's what it was. Yep. Yeah, that'd be cool
Yeah.
to see
Isn't
the
NXT
NXT
this
show.
weekend at UFC Arena?
Yep, this Sunday.
Sunday, okay.
Yep. So
Sexy
yeah,
Red
Jordan
gonna be
Grace.
there?
That's gonna be great. Who? Is he gonna be there?
Nothing.
Conor
Sun-
McGregor.
a Sunday pay per view? No,
Say Sexy Red.
Not in this economy. Not a Sunday paper.
Yeah, that. I don't know why they decided to do it on Sunday this time because they've been doing it on Saturdays. Maybe that's
I
the only day they
love
keep.
Saturday.
Oh, is there a UFC fight Saturday? I don't
That's a
even know.
shitty opinion. It's the
That
most
could be.
bullshit opinion I've ever heard.
Well,
Well, that's your. Sorry, Tony.
I heard that too, actually. So I think next year, the year after, they're going to start packaging UFC and WWE together. I read that somewhere,
Ah,
where it's going to be like a mega weekend where it'll be
that's kind of cool.
Saturday will be the UFC
That's
pay per
more
view,
money.
and then Sunday will be
Bullshit.
WWE PLEs will go back to Sundays. And
Oh,
it'll be Saturday UFC and WWE.
I wonder
they're
if
gonna do
they'll
that all the
save
time,
money and
so-
have it in the same arena. Is that what they're saying?
I'm not sure. I don't know
That's
about that, but
interesting.
but they said that it's going to be a Saturday and Sunday thing, where UFC Saturday and WWE Sunday.
or like what for like
Ah, man.
for small, like
No.
obviously not for WrestleMania, but like it'll be like for
Yeah,
like,
not for
SummerSlam
WrestleMania,
and
but
Royal
it'll be for
Rumble
like the
stuff.
backlashes and the Money in the Banks and all that. stuff.
Oh,
They're
gotcha.
gonna-
Okay, okay. Well, WrestleMania is
like
two
these
nights.
pay-per-views.
But I don't remember where.
Still
I
got
don't know how
WrestleMania
credible
Sunday.
that is. I read it somewhere.
That's a shitty opinion. It's the most bullshit opinion I've ever heard.
Well,
Yep.
we'll see. Hopefully
Okay,
not.
no.
But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to NXT. I think it's gonna be really good. I think you might start seeing more of that
They're doing
TNA
well.
crossover too.
Yeah,
That pay per view.
that's what we
That's perfect,
expect.
too.
Yeah.
So
It's-
what are possibilities with that? It's who's the guy?
I want all the
with
old people to walk down. I want Jarrett and Styles and Angle to walk down the aisle. And be
Well,
like,
Jared
"Let's
can't
go."
because he's in AEW.
Yeah, yeah.
He wasn't
That's right.
allowed to.
What's
Booker
his name?
T.
Josh. He wears the wrestling headgear.
Josh Alexander. Right. Josh.
Yeah.
Alexander?
Yeah, Josh Alexander.
But Moose is TNA champ, I think, right now. right?
Yeah, he's the TNA
Yes.
champ right now.
Yeah.
Is
Feuding with
Christopher?
Ziggler.
I mean, stupid question.
Ziggler-
Is Christopher Daniels
Ziggler's
still
gonna
over
show
there?
up, watch.
Where's Daniels now?
I think he is in TNA. Or
He's
is
still
Christopher
there,
Daniels?
Christopher Daniels? Or
Yeah.
I
No,
think
Christopher
he's
Daniels
still
is in AEW.
oh, Kazarian's
Yeah.
in TNA. I think right.
Yeah, Kazarian's
Yeah.
in
Okay.
TNA.
Okay.
How many people are just buried in AEW right now? You never see them. It's crazy.
No, Daniels is
Isn't-
working behind the scenes.
Yeah,
and now
Daniels-
he's the
Yeah.
He's an
the-
on-screen
the-
like
the- he's the face general
Trish or
manager now
something.
because Tony Khan's not going to be on screen anymore, so he's acting on behalf
See,
of Tony.
he had to get an
Hey, is
Adam
that true,
Pierce
Jess?
lookalike.
Why
No,
is
just
Tony Khan not going to be on the screen?
No, he
Is that
just I don't know if he doesn't want to be like or anything, but yeah.
Is that the
he,
reason why
so-
Christopher Daniels is that?
Daniels is going to come out and act against the Bucks when the Bucks make a shitty decision? He's going to be like, actually, Tony Khan told me. So
Because
it's gonna
Tony
be
Khan's
like-
That's
gonna
fucking
turn heel.
bullshit.
I think he will.
happening. I think,
I
you're
don't
I
right.
think something's going to happen. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Nah, I doubt it.
That's a shitty opinion. It's the most
I hope
bullshit
it does.
opinion I've ever heard.
True. That's your idea, Tony. But
Yeah. Fucking piece of shit.
It's your idea.
you
Tony.
just keep rolling down that ramp or whatever you did.
What about how's my boy How's my partner? Any update on his injury?
Who cares?
Partner.
My leg's still broken.
Yeah, still
broken. Who
Have a
cares?
vignette.
Don't you fucking understand?
They have a
Who
vignette
cares?
every week,
Fucking
and all he does
understand.
is go, "Still broken, partner," and then it
Partner.
just cuts. Like, that's
Still.
That's
Let
like
me check.
the Randy Orton
Oh,
injury
man.
update and shit that
let me
he's had.
check. Let me check, and he tries to walk in. He falls. Goes, "Broken, partner."
My bones incinerated now. So they're powder.
That's another 6 weeks, partner.
Oh, and-
45%. See you next week.
Yeah.
If I was a doctor, I'd be like, "So, tip of the week: if someone says, 'Can I backdrop you from the outside of the ring with no ropes
Say no.
onto the guardrail?"
Say
Say
no.
no. It's not. You're not
Say
going to
no.
do that to me.
Doctor's
Especially if
opinion,
you're not wrestling in your
you-
main job.
Yeah.
You know,
or if you just
Stick
suck
to
ass,
Domino's and Video
you
48.
should not wrestle ever again. Doctor's opinion. I mean,
You should not have wrestling as your main. You should not have pro wrestling as your profession.
I think your main profession should be Uber
I'll
driver.
fuck you up,
I just-
Craig.
Top of my
selling
head,
tires.
Oh, selling tires.
Why?
Good
Because Jim
profession.
Cornette said that. Looks like a tire salesman or fucking mechanic or whatever.
Looks like a goddamn tire salesman.
Tire mechanic.
Looks like the fucking mechanic down the street.
Yeah.
That's good, cuz it's really tight. It's really close.
I love listening to this podcast. I haven't listened to him in a long time.
You got
Yeah,
that
when
though?
he-
2 cheese,
The
2
what?
cheese, double onion.
He
Yeah,
sold
I like
the
this
hamburger at the lap towel. It's so funny for fast food.
Oh man.
Because you got to do the video in the drive-thru where he's like, "Fuck you, you ugly bitch."
Is Jericho in the car? I don't remember.
Yeah, Jericho.
Yeah, Jericho.
Oh, was it
He
really?
was in the- yeah, he was in the car.
They
when it
ordered so
happened.
much food they thought that the order wasn't real, so they canceled it. And like
They went
Cornette
around
took
and
a
they
while.
didn't have it there. We thought it was real. He's like, "Bitch, what the fuck do you think? I fucking ordered it." Like, he's all fucking mad. Like, went off on her.
That's fucking hilarious.
That was.
I would
so
be
long
pissed,
ago.
dude. I
Jericho
would be
was a
so
baby.
fucking pissed.
Well, especially wrestlers like at fucking 11 at night or 12 at night. you know,
Yeah,
they're done for the
traveling
day.
and
They're
shit.
hungry, bro. They're
Bitch,
fucking
well, what
starving.
the fuck do you think we ordered it for? You fucking bitch. Like, just fucking going nuts on her. Fucking
You're just tired,
16-year-old
exhausted,
fucking
and just
minimum
all you-
wage worker.
You want
Yeah.
your only option is shitty Wendy's, and you can't even get it.
Stupid
Yeah.
fucking cunt.
Stupid fucking, yeah, that's what he did. He called her cunt.
That's what it was.
That's what he said. That's what he legitimately said.
Yeah.
Dude,
Went off
he'd
on
be
her.
canceled if he did that today. Actually, that'd be so funny.
Bro.
I still say stuff like that.
You can find
Roman
it.
calls
It's
Wendy's
okay.
drive-through cunt. That wouldn't work.
He calls Tony Khan that.
Thumbnail, cuz thumbnail, cuz there it is. There you go.
Look on the thumbnail below.
Not a cunt, right?
Jim
Yeah.
Cornette
Jim
called her.
Cornette.
Cuz has like 3 thumbnails to throw the the cash.
Fucking twinkle toes.
Acknowledge.
Get the clicks.
Get the clicks. Gotta.
Click, click.
Jim Cornette.
Oh,
He
God.
must
Goes
be
off on
unmanageable
Worker?
because he's still like when I hear his podcast, he's still as sharp as ever.
Yeah,
Cornette.
he is.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
you
he's-
must be unmanageable because like I don't know how anybody wouldn't want you.
You're
to help,
not
like,
you're not
do
gonna
promo
hold him
instructions
back.
or whatever.
Yeah, dude. Like I wish he would.
Yeah,
Wait,
right?
He doesn't want to though. He doesn't want to.
He
so
hasn't.
he is still so
he
fucking
hasn't.
sharp.
Well, he
doesn't
has
wanna
in
get on a
common
plane.
what most like middle managers and individual contributors do. He doesn't have a filter. He's like, fuck it, I don't
Yeah.
care.
He's
Don't
just
care.
napalmed every bridge that he could ever.
He also has shitty ideas from time to time. If it comes out of a box, it's gonna be over. It's like it's not. It's not, Jim. Like, don't shut up. Like,
And then
So he-
Jungle Boy, after
Jungle
fire,
Boy.
runs down the ring.
and then he
fucking
said,
guy.
"This is real glass."
And then this fucking guy that looks like a mechanic comes out.
CM Punk did not like that.
Looks like he works down at the $5 oil change.
He kicks out of every fucking pan. And what the fuck? Like he's just
That was
fucking
really
mad.
good.
Yeah, and he gets so fucking mad, and then he stops.
He
'cause his
kicks out
host is
every
laughing.
fucking thing. Yeah.
Fucking time. So why the fuck am I invested in this shit? I can't fucking get a pinfall. But oh no, this is professional wrestling, so
Yeah.
we'll keep doing it. He's just fucking mad. Like he's just
I like, and
God.
I like when he
So
gets like
good.
to the next, like whatever the next segment. He's like, oh, and then this. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
There's like,
Ugh.
oh,
it's like a
fucking
chore.
twinkle
It's like,
toes.
it's like he's
Yeah,
cleaning his kitchen. He's like,
yeah,
oh, I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
unload the dishwasher, or like, I gotta unload the dishwasher. And then he's like, "Oh, in this segment."
And I'm
what it
supposed
was.
to
Damn
mention Twinkle Toes in the same
Yeah,
breath as
Twinkle
Dick the
Toes.
Bruiser. Yeah, right. You.
I like when he calls someone a dumb motherfucker.
But at least autograph signings and shit when Santino came up
Dude,
to him. He's
yeah,
like,
he'll
so
fucking
if I shake this motherfucker's hand, everyone's gonna fucking record it and be like, Jim Cornette's full of shit. No, I'm not working, motherfucker. I fucking hate this guy. So he came up to my hand and said, don't fucking touch me. Don't fucking walk up to me. Get the fuck out of here. I fucking told him. Like, and I was like, he did. Like, he does everything he says he's gonna do. So anybody he's badmouthed in the past, he will not fucking make up with you or shake your hand because he knows he'll be filmed doing it. And he's like, I'm not that fucking guy. I'm not fucking gonna say I'm fucking sorry to you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Santino.
Oh, and because he was talking about why Edge would jump off that cage, and I was like,
did
"Hey,
he?
motherfucker, you're the one that fucking dropped from the scaffold."
Yeah,
and
you
broke
dropped
both
from the
your legs."
scaffold. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he
Hey,
did mention it.
Hey, hold on. That's firsthand experience. Is why you don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He did that 30
did
years ago.
mention
Like,
it.
don't
Well, yeah,
do
I mean,
that.
he was what? He was probably what, 28,
Yeah,
30 at the
that's
time?
just not.
And
Yeah,
blew out
that's-
both
you know?
his knees, bro.
50,
I was fucking 25,
Yeah.
not 50.
Fucking nimble as fuck.
This fucking
Well,
methed
that's
out
a
tweaker
lie.
motherfucker
That's-
jumps off the fucking cage.
Your kneecap?
25, yes. Nibble, fucking no way. No way.
Big
Because
Brother
he's
Roger's supposed to
basically
fucking catch me, motherfucker. Stood
His fucking bones are weak from all the meth he's been fucking doing. You see his eyes popping out his fucking head.
He's
We could do
basically
this
our
for
inner
hours.
voice, like our inner negative devil voice. Like,
It's Jim
He's-
Cornette, like the whole
Jim
time.
Cornette is making me drinks right now. No joke. No joke, Craig. Yeah, you're right.
And
He's
fans
right.
are outside wondering if
I'm
fucking Adam
standing
Combs,
over here. Yeah.
who's skinnier than an 8-year-old
Jim
boy,
Cornette.
like he broke his fucking ankle jumping off the ramp. You think he's gonna come back? No. No. Fuck no.
Morton wouldn't jump off a 15-foot cage. Okay, stop. Okay, all right.
Where you learn to fall off a 20-foot
And know how to jump. Okay, all right. That was
Beautiful Bobby would never have done that.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done a lot of things.
Twinkle toe. He
That
actually
doesn't say much.
also didn't draw money.
there was something that Kenny
Exactly.
Omega was on recently. I forgot what he was talking about, but Jim Cornette actually said he respected Kenny Omega now or something like that. I forgot what it was.
Giving praise to Roman in the WWE or something. Like he's
That was one of the things. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that
he was
one
on
of the
his
things.
little video. He was doing a video game thing, and somebody said something negative about Roman Reigns. He's like, I won't have any of that here. He's like, I think Roman's amazing, and like, I think that he does what we all wish we could do. Like, he's fantastic. Like,
I can't.
oh my
remember the
God, you
guy.
mean Jim Cornette was wrong about someone? Like, you mean Kenny Omega is
That's
actually
weird.
a good?
I
pro
actually respect
wrestler?
Twinkle
Yeah.
Toes,
Right.
but he's still Twinkle Toes. So
So I
Twinkle
can't
Toes.
remember. There's
Dumb
that
motherfucker.
guy, and I should remember his name, but he's interviewing all the major wrestlers and managers right now, and he asked John Cena about his the monument, the top four, and he actually
yeah.
put Roman on it. He's like, I'm just, it's my
John
opinion.
Cena did?
It's my opinion.
Cena-
There's no
Cena put him
fucking
on there?
whatsoever. He put Roman on it because the way he worded it was, there are people who elevate this industry to a new light, and he didn't put himself on. He's like, I don't think I elevated the industry. This is Cena saying about himself. He's like, Hogan did it, Stone Cold did it. He said Dwayne did it. He didn't say The Rock. He said Dwayne Johnson. Like, okay,
We
whatever.
did it.
And then he was like, and Roman Reigns. He's like, because
Not me,
Roman
John
Reigns
Cena. Roman Reigns.
took this moment and is elevated to this level. What's the level of wrestling right now? Right? It's at all new heights. Roman held the title for how many years? We're getting close to 4 years on it before he dropped
No,
it.
that's a valid
I'm
point.
like-
That's
I'm like,
I do agree with that. However,
Man, I don't know if I agree with that.
But
it was
with
his
part of it,
opinion
but
on how to
there's
put
a
him on
big
the monument.
asterisk
Yeah.
next to it. There's a big asterisk next to it, and it's Paul Heyman. I don't think that Roman would be as big
Well-
as a heel without fucking Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman has done some of the best work. Like Paul Heyman said it. I know he was in character when he said it. Somebody brought up Bobby Heenan. He's like, I'm the GOAT. And he is. He's better
Yeah,
than
it's
Bobby
true.
Heenan. And I don't
true.
and that means that's
He
the
is.
highest class you can get. That is
He-
not a
he is.
negative against
He
Bobby
is.
Heenan.
he is.
Just
But
gonna-
Paul Heyman is better than Bobby Heenan, by the way, by leaps and fucking bounds.
he
Okay.
is.
Like it's not
No,
even
I
close.
don't.
Like
No,
I-
we're not disagreeing with that.
Not even
but
close.
hey,
Roman.
is so who else has Paul Heyman managed? CM Punk, Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
They're not on the monument. They haven't done what Roman's done.
I
Roman-
mean, they could be.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily agree with that analogy of
Changing
I
the
would-
industry,
I
taking
would-
it to a higher level.
yeah, like
Right.
Roman.
I wouldn't
just happened
argue
to be
against it.
champ, and like I'm not taking anything away from the guy, but he has an air about him. There is a gravitas about him that we've talked about.
Exactly.
But
this
he
is
just
the best
he just-
Roman. There's
he-
no
he just
questions the best Roman.
But he also just happened to be at the top when the product was the best it's ever been, probably. Where Hogan drew when the cards were awful. I mean, like the cards underneath Hogan. I mean, you got like Brutus Beefcake and Greg Valentine or Dino Bravo fighting. Like nobody wants to see that. People went to go see Hogan.
Don't you dare talk shit on Dino Bravo.
The same thing with Austin. Without the Attitude Era, like we've all talked about, is actually mostly shit. It's Austin that made the Attitude Era. And then later on, like Dwayne kind of carrying the industry every time he came back, and that's why he came back so many times, because we're like, shit, dude, we're sucking right now. Bring Dwayne back for a year. You know, when Roman leaves, like, when Hogan left, WWF took a dip. When Austin and Rock left, WWF took a dip. Roman's going to leave, and there's going to be no dip.
He's been
gone. To me, that's the difference.
They're still breaking records.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
the product is as it is that it finally got to the point that Vince always wanted it to, where the company's not revolving around one person.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one is bigger than the product.
Yeah.
Yes.
And don't get me wrong, this is the best Roman. I think that he was the right man for the job. But I think that people yada yada past Paul Heyman all the time. If he doesn't set that framework so you can get comfortable and let your character come across, Roman doesn't do half the communicating with the audience. And there were many days that Roman wasn't there, by the way, because he was on such a part-time schedule, that Paul Heyman was out every week carrying Roman's legacy, carrying the mystique of Roman, putting Roman over every fucking week. Without Paul Heyman or someone that was lesser than, Roman's not special when he comes back. I mean, he's a good heel, and we all thought that he should turn heel when they were booing him anyway, because they're like, what do you have to lose, And then
definitely worked out.
It was good. But I mean, like, Paul Heyman was the guy every week that drove that train. Without Paul Heyman, it doesn't get as big. It just doesn't. Like, it does. Him in the background doing his reactions, like, you would just see the Usos acting up against whatever. It's not very Usy. And Paul Heyman in the back, you'd still rewatch it later, going, "Look at fucking Heyman, fucking is great."
Yeah.
Like, everything he did on the outside, every time Roman would miss a move, it was like Paul Bearer when he used to overreact and like he used to get killed when Undertaker was getting killed. It's the same thing.
Right.
I think after Roman has this face run that he's gonna have, and if however long his run goes, I think you could
Let
consider.
me be honest. Roman's great. Like, like, I mean, really,
it's gonna be great.
Well, hold on.
I
wouldn't put him on my top 4 right now, but I wouldn't argue against it, because he has been there since 2013.
I wouldn't argue against modern fans who don't know anything else, who started watching during the PG.
Yeah, and he's
been on top since
he's been there since 2013. His face run as champ was
for sure, but they've always had him on top. He's always been on top,
and not his fault at all.
No, it's not his fault.
Not his fault.
No, but
I think this
they put a lot on him.
Back is going to be huge.
Over a decade on top.
They put a lot. Yeah, they put a lot on him, and
there's a lot to it.
He's been on top for a while.
No, there is. Roman has his place for sure, Craig. There's no doubting that.
And then again, I have to stress this.
And the gravitas.
This was Cena's opinion of
it's just Cena's. I would like I said, I wouldn't argue against someone.
My opinion. Nowhere based on fact.
Well, and we as fans too, we do kind of gravitate towards our nostalgia a little bit better. And as the years go on, it's a lot of years that we're trying to encapsulate, right? To try to say there's a top 5, I don't even know if it's possible anymore.
Give it a decade. Give it a decade and reflect back on this and see what you think about Roman.
You have to, and even Mount Rushmore stuff. It's like, what's the category? Like, what do you
exactly?
What's the criteria?
It's always opinion. It's always opinion.
Moneymaker in ring. Yes.
I think someone's just doing overall. I think
like,
Cena's doing like overall.
It's Hogan, Rock, Austin will always be on there for drawing power.
I watched.
Are you doing like wrestling, like entertainment?
I watched wrestling.
Hogan's not on there. You put like Kurt Angle up there instead. Or,
well, that's the thing. Like I watched a snip of it on Cena's opinion, and he said it was like how you used your main event status to elevate the industry, and at this point, like it or not,
I mean, it is Roman
3-4 years. Roman in the main event status
cuz,
has
you're right.
elevated the industry.
Because he was.
That's where Cena was coming from. That's why he put Hogan in it.
And we were
and
talking about
Rock
WCW,
and
watching the documentary too, like, or the Who Killed WCW Part 1.
Yeah.
It hits me again because I get mad at him because, like, I get pissed that he didn't get back to the business when he shouldn't. He's a liar. But, like, beginning of the documentary was like,
That's how you really feel.
I think Kevin Sullivan flat out said, without Hogan, we never would have got to the NWO. And I'm like, so
It's true.
in
It's all
the
true.
enemy promotion on a documentary about the enemy of the WWF, the guy who helped make the WWF is being praised as the guy that if we didn't have him, we never would have got the net. And I'm like, God. And then it makes you again, you hate what Hogan does, you hate the way he represents himself, but at the same time, you look back and go, how's Hogan not like one of the greatest wrestlers?
He is.
He's
overall.
literally he's
still
your
is.
angel and devil on each
But, like,
shoulder.
that-
You
see,
talk
with that,
about someone who
what-
drives an engine, you have to look at those results and go, even the enemy, even when the enemy promotion gets the guy that made the first one and he makes the enemy promotion like able to compete, shit.
Like,
What are
who
we
else
talking
though?
about?
Like,
But he was the guy who killed him in the end,
if
but-
Paul
Yeah, I mean,
Heyman didn't have Roman, like
Hogan
if Paul
Hogan
Heyman had
essentially
managed someone
brought
else,
about 2 golden eras of wrestling.
yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
Like he
Yes.
did without question.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
at
so
least the first one he did by himself. The second one,
I mean, he
he-
had Vince.
he-
Vince
he-
is also
well,
again.
the
Vince
second
was the
one, being
backstage
part of
Paul
NWO,
Heyman,
and
like,
then
But see, if
and then
Paul Heyman
that was a catalyst for
managed someone else,
essentially
obviously
Austin
with
down the
Brock,
road, but-
we've seen what Paul has done with Brock, but like if it was anyone else but Roman, would they have done what Roman has done, regardless if it was Paul or not with them? You know.
I
No, Roman was the right guy.
And Roman's
for
also
sure.
got the
Roman's
bloodline,
right
whole
guy,
dynasty behind him. It's just it runs
'cause
deep
I
with
do
Roman.
do a
I-
Mount Rushmore
It
episode.
runs.
fight
It
to
runs
the
really
death.
deep with Roman. I think he's
I-
done
I-
enough.
I-
I wouldn't put him on my
agree.
top 4, like I said, but I could see
I'm
the
telling
argument.
you, to answer your question while you're asking it, I would be so interested to see if you could just move Brock up like 8 years and to see and put him in that Roman position and see what happened with him and Paul when everything's
See,
on top and just
Well,
when Brock came
I
back,
just-
I said
Brock
that
doesn't
Brock
leave-
should have held it for
if Brock
8 years.
doesn't
Like
leave
I
for
said, he
those-
should have
all
broken
those years-
Bruno's
But
record.
not even that. We're overlooking that.
I wish he would have.
Who is the? I mean, if you had to name this position, who's his biggest and greatest feud? It's Brock Lesnar.
yeah.
it
Roman.
is.
Yeah.
Without Brock, Roman wouldn't be anybody.
Cena's kind of a
You
second,
know,
but
they first faced each other
Cody's
at WrestleMania 31,
Mhm.
like Lesnar and Roman. Lesnar's Roman's great. Without Roman or
It's
Lesnar,
incredible.
Roman has so much momentum behind him just from the Lesnar stuff, like
yeah,
which
Yeah.
Paul Heyman was involved in. Like,
Yeah.
so it's like it all ties in together. I think people don't give Lesnar enough fucking credit. They just don't.
Yes.
they're
And, like,
starting
it's
to, but
cri-
yeah,
it's
they don't.
criminal
Yeah,
to
because
me.
Lesnar
When
is
people are like, I don't
super
really like
underrated.
Lesnar, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking
The
about?
most
What's
And the
underrated,
guy has 4
probably.
moves.
You know,
I'm thinking of the
Yeah.
guy that
Everybody does 4
elevate
moves.
the
That's like,
most.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate
I
that
always say
argument.
that,
Like,
everybody fucking does 4 moves. And did you
that's
watch
what Vince
this
wanted.
fucking-
Vince only allowed you to have 4
Yeah.
moves.
Did you watch this gazelle of a human being, by the way, in 2002 and 3? This fucking Lesnar did shit nobody
Yeah.
had done, but the athleticism of that guy
he was crazy, man.
like was insane. Like he's
Great.
like George Foreman. George Foreman had his young boxing career and then he left for a bit and then came back. And the older George Foreman was so much smarter, which this Lesnar is so much smarter than he ever was when he was
Mhm.
younger. He does less and does way more with less.
oh yeah,
because
Craig,
now he gets
comment
it.
on this,
Like,
man.
perfect.
Craig, what were you gonna say?
Under Cena's criteria, a guy that should be on Mount Rushmore then for elevating everyone else but himself and elevating the industry would be Sting.
oh yeah, he's
Hmm?
easily. Yeah, he would easily be on there.
We've said that
Yeah.
a lot. Well, Cousin said that a lot too. It's like, well, Sting, nobody talks about him as one of the GOATs of all time, but
He is.
probably the poster
Elevating
child
everyone
of
he
not
worked
being
with.
selfish and
Sting.
elevating everybody. And really, like, I know we laugh at his antics now. So was Flair. Flair was always like,
Yeah,
I just want to sell out the arena and like what you want Steve
I
to
just
beat
wanna
me,
make
that's
money.
fine. Great. Like,
Honestly, Savage too,
the only
right?
difference
Like,
is
Yeah.
Flair wanted to hang
Savage-
on to the
Savage is
gold.
another
but-
one.
Savage is an unselfish guy that was
well,
always
Flair
that's
didn't
always
want
been
the
around.
gold all the time. If
Savage,
somebody
yeah,
beat
Savage.
Flair and redefined WCW, if somebody beat Flair and became their Hogan, I don't think you would see Flair win as many world titles. But I think they went back to Flair because they're like, all right, we got to reset.
He
We'll
was
put it
their
back
Hogan.
on the hot heel in Flair, and he's a good worker. So we'll find that face. We'll find the
Well,
guy that works.
essentially-
And they had shit
Essentially,
management,
that's why they get Flair the title anyways. At the even at the beginning, is because he could work with anybody. He could go into anybody's territory and make them look like $1 million. He could make
Yes.
Ronnie
Right.
Garvin have a 5-star match.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
Kurt Angle.
why
Kurt Angle's
wouldn't
another
you?
one that did whatever. Kurt Angle never fought for a victory. He just wanted the best match on the card. Kurt
I
Angle's another one that
Kurt
makes
Angle-
other people better just by being
To-
there.
everyone wants to talk about Shawn Michaels as the greatest worker in this
Very,
and
very
that
hard to
thing,
get a
which
5-star match.
Very, very
whatever.
hard.
I think I would
Very
probably
hard.
put Kurt Angle as the greatest all around
He's not Kenny Omega.
wrestler
He's
of all
he's
time.
my
not
guy,
Kenny
man.
Omega.
He's,
Like-
he's
He's not Kenny
like-
my
Omega.
number
like,
one.
that could do.
Dave agrees.
He wasn't the best promo,
not
but he was
Kenny
an awesome promo.
Yes,
He wasn't.
Joe.
He was probably maybe the best wrestler actually, but he could wrestle. He could be funny.
He
could do
is
a
the number
kick-ass
one. He
promo.
has to be number one. If you went by skill.
We should save this for an
No,
actual ad.
we're doing this now.
Yeah.
We're changing this episode
Let's do it
right now.
God damn it!
We already did it last 15
Get
minutes.
on,
We're
get
on,
on board,
we're
Craig.
on
It's
hour
happening.
number 8.
Break
We're on
the
hour
intro.
number 8. I'm like, no.
No, listen,
In the
listen.
territories, Butch Reed. You guys listen to me. Hear
You
me out.
guys are sleeping on Butch
Yeah,
Reed. Don't
yeah,
sleep
yeah,
on
start
Butch
being like
Reed,
that.
man.
Vern Gagne
Vern Gagne.
elevated everybody.
Right.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, too.
Good.
We've done-
Dan
we've said it all.
Martino. Huh?
Bob Backlund in
Howard
his
Stern
first
says you
big
said it all.
Well,
It's
Eh,
San Martino.
See you at the
Wolf.
matches.
we'll
There
see
it
you at the
is.
matches, motherfucking cocksuckers. Yeah.
And
Ah.